All right, this is just a little video that I wanted to put together and do. So NASCAR primary sponsors, they do put out a lot of money to these teams to be on the car, and I understand that, but I'm just going to throw out a couple of drivers, not to point the finger or anything like that at some of these sponsors, but it's just a couple that come to mind, and I'm going to use these two sponsors just as a example of what I'm, where my mind is. And um, this is just something I've been thinking about for a long time. And hey, maybe my mind isn't working right. I was diagnosed with brain cancer a couple of months ago, and I've been battling back hard, physical therapy, getting good and strong before this chemo and radiation kicks off. That's liable to weaken me, and I've been getting good and strong, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling healthy, and I plan on beating this thing. So that's where I'm at in life right now. But with primary sponsors, let's just take Martin Truex Jr. for example. Bass Pro. That's a big time. People love that store. I love going in Bass Pro. Just a great store, a fun store to go in. So much stuff to check out. If you're into guns, you can go check out the guns, check out the ammo. If you're into boating and anything outdoors, it's a cool place to check out. So you pay all this money to be on the car. My whole thing with primary sponsors is, they're going around the track every week with your company name on the car. Do a little bit, at least to support that driver. When you go into a Bass Pro, there should be some Martin Truex Jr. t-shirts, hats. They got, Bass Pro on them, Martin Truex, the car number on the side or somewhere. Just do a little bit. You go into a Bass Pro, there should be a cardboard cutout of Truex. That's like Napa Auto Parts with Chase Elliott. He wins the championship. I go into a Napa. He wins the championship with you got your company name on the car. There should be a cardboard cutout, all kinds of hats. A lot of these sponsors, there ought to be things set up to where, you know, you spend so much, a certain dollar amount, you get a free Chase Elliott hat, something along those lines. But I go in Napa's from time to time, and I've always believed Napa was high, and they do have some good brake pads. Their filters are pretty good, which to my understanding, they're made by Wix. And Wix is a pretty reputable, brand. They make pretty good stuff. Good air filters, pretty good oil filters. So, when you walk into a Napa and you don't see anything Chase Elliott related, that is a problem for me. That's not cool. Support your driver. He's going around that track week after week after week with your brand on the car. And I like I said, again, they do put out a lot of money, but support the driver just a little bit. Support the team. Do something. Let's create fans. Not just fans of that driver, but NASCAR fans. By getting them interested. Oh, the hat I got the other day at Napa. That's that driver right there. They're flipping through the channels and oh, he's running second. He's running fourth. He's doing pretty good today. Yeah, that's the same guy that on the hat that I got yesterday. Something like that. They don't have to do a lot, but offer up some hats. Maybe a couple T-shirts. You go into a Bass Pro. I haven't been in one in a while, but I'm sure they probably do have some Truex shirts. I would imagine they would. But with Napa, I don't see nothing when I go in there. I've gone in there just to see if they had any, because I'm a Chase Elliott fan, and you know, Truex is one of the premier drivers as well in NASCAR, and especially your premier drivers, your top guys. They ought to be doing something. I believe, like your home state of these different drivers. You go to a Chevy dealership in the state of Georgia. There, you got a Camaro in the showroom. There ought to be a cutout of Chase there. For example, he's the champion. Whoever wins the championship this year in that man's home state. You go to a showroom and you're looking for a new car, or just looking around at getting a new or used car. There ought to be something of whoever this new champion is going to be for this year. I mean, put the brand out there. Not just that, but support the driver a little bit. These manufacturers, and do a little bit more. And these sponsors, I believe they can do a little bit more. I really, really do. Get the driver's name out there, get your brand out there a little bit more, your company name. You go to a Napa, for example, you buy some brake pads, some brake calipers, have that driver on the boxes. They can do a little bit more. And again, like I said, opening this video, I understand. Even with brain cancer, I get it. I understand that you're putting all this money out to help this team and be on this car. I know that. But you can do just a little bit more to get that driver's name out there and support that driver a little bit. He's out there running with your brand on the car. When that driver does good, you ought to be proud. Hey, we're supporting this guy. Just a little bit more to support the drivers. That's all I'm saying. When I worked for O'Reilly Auto Parts, which is like the official auto parts store of NASCAR, we had a lot of NASCAR hats, black with the NASCAR logo across the front. You bought so much merchandise, you got a free hat. Just something like that. A lot of these sponsors can do something along those lines, and it gets people interested. Things like that. When I worked for O'Reilly's, at the front counters, we had these little fold out. It was the whole year, the schedule for that entire year. Just do something like that. I believe that these sponsors can do just a touch more. Support that driver, especially if he's doing well, especially if he's finishing good. That's your brand on the car, and these companies should be proud of that. And hey, let's support this guy. Let's get behind him a little bit more. Let's get his name out there. That's all I'm saying. And you can comment down below, tell me what you think. And hey, got brain cancer, but even I can figure it out, battling back each and every day. But hey, it's just something I've been thinking about doing a video on this, because it's something that really bugs me. You go into one of these places and there's nothing, nothing related to the drivers a lot of times, and it gets to me. It really, really does. And I know they're putting forth a lot of money. I know that. But hey, get behind that guy. Truly get behind that driver. Support him. Get his name out there, And I think that's a good way for that company name to succeed even more. Get that driver. Hey, support him and, push your product by supporting that driver. You give away some free hats and things like that. People will come to your location just because of that. Hey, man, I go buy my brake pads from Napa, go get my oil filter, and, go go get my stuff from them, I'm going to get a free Chase Elliott hat, Go to Bass Pro, man, they're giving away free Martin Truex Junior hats right now. You buy $50 in merchandise, you're going to get a free shirt. That's awesome. I'm going to go buy my ammo from them. It's just little things like that I think about. I'm like, hey, support these drivers just a little bit more.